Hello people of the internet, it's your boy Skinny Penis with another video, fresh from the press, and we're making advances into the tier 9 premiums. And the first thing we will look at is probably the only cruiser you can buy in good consciousness, let's say, and actually feel good about yourself. It's the child's favorite ship. Alaska enjoyer's favorite thing to do, spamming Alaska. Honestly, I looked at the tier 9 cruisers. I mean, I knew it beforehand, but there's not even like really an argument about any other cruiser being viable. Alaska is just by far the most incredible one. Overall the best in every regard. To be honest, it could theoretically be tier 10, or like if you would put it on tier 10, it would still be better than some of the current tier 10 cruisers. Like, I'd rather play an Alaska in tier 10 matchmaking than a fucking Yodo or Yinan. I mean, Yinan isn't that cringe in randoms, because, I mean, I guess it is cringe because half the game's enemy just kite or you spawn on the incorrect flank. But yeah, Alaska, honestly, it's by far the best tier 9 cruiser. Could straight up be tier 10, most likely, given the fact what they are currently releasing on tier 10. And yeah, reasons for that, obviously it has armor. It doesn't have an icebreaker, it has an overbatchable nose and ass, but in general the Citadel is super hard to hit because there's like a hidden armor plating. Same thing on Puerto or Congress. Hard to Citadel, flat broadside, so it's very forgiving. It has incredible AP because of the improved pen angles with that heavy, or like that big gun caliber. I think it's like 300mm guns, right? Yeah, 305mm. And it also has like obviously the HE pen and decent reload. And the dispersion is like battlecruiser dispersion, which means you're actually hitting most of your shots, especially on fat battleships, for example. You would think, well, maybe I can't really farm it down, right? Because I'm a heavy cruiser, I don't have the DPM. But since you have decent dispersion and good penetration with good fire chance, you can actually also farm down angled targets. I mean, 27% fire chance. In general, Alaska is just the best thing in terms of cruises. The other options are essentially like here, you have an Azuma, it's just like you kite and HE spam. You can do the exact same in Alaska, just with more armor and more utility. As you can see, I boast a radar and a hydro. I don't know why I have hydro on it. Probably up to you people if you want hydro or radar. Guess I'm chancing it a whole lot on not having a CV here, but then I have one. I personally like to play hydro. The FAA on these heavy ships, larger ships, because the worst thing that could happen is that an idiotic CV griefs you out of the game for no reason, which would be a disaster, honestly. Going to hide here. Everyone from their side apparently moved over here. Okay, it was a pretty big volley there. Just gonna take it out because they sent everyone here too, and as you can see the Pommern might actually run it. I don't have 8 km ASW yet. You have to take a bit more lead on this ship, by the way. Obviously the arcs are a bit more slow than on like a Kronstadt. Then again, you get better dispersion than a Kronstadt. Kronstadt theoretically, or originally one of the cruises that was also kind of worth it to get. But these days, not really. Like in randoms, Kronstadt is a bit of a pain in the ass. Bit too unreliable, so it's frustrating. In the end, it's still gonna get a lot of damage, and it has the 12 km radar, which by the way isn't a Moskva radar we figured out, or a Nevsky radar. It's actually in between Stalin and Moskva. It's a different type of radar duration. I think it's like 25 base. Stalin has 20 base or so. 15 base? I don't fucking know anymore. I'm gonna load HE here. And the good thing about Alaska is you can probably straight up buy it again. Because the Black Friday crates, essentially the Black Friday crates originally were a gamble. So you'd had to buy so many crates until you get Alaska. But they changed it last year that you can actually just straight up buy the premiums for doubloons in the armory when Black Friday rolls around. And then I definitely say that Alaska and some other Black Friday ships too, but Alaska is definitely one of the ships you should pick up. since it's not a... What is it? It's not obtainable anymore without Black Friday. This guy is like 3 million module spec'd on his shitty secondaries. Okay, so they're all... The Pommern is gonna die. The submarine is sub-surveilled and getting dropped. Can probably push in now. I mean, you do have an issue at kiting targets with HE. Like, because of your no fire prevention kind of nature with 60-second fires, you can't really push into something like an Azuma for free. He's like that passive and that prone to kite already. You're not gonna magically kill him. Even if he angles up, the thing just has a billion HP and a fast heal. It's a tragic ship because it can only kite, like the life of an Azuma. The thing has like 0 armor. Alaska has like 36 or 38 deck, which means you're not completely overmatchable, and you're also sitting very low in the water. Okay, this is a bit too much kite for me on this flank. I think I'll move over and fuck on the Alaska in the middle. Gotta be careful though about the Groningen next to him, because that guy's smoking up. Eye that Karl Martel. I mean, theoretically, I could have shot there if he wouldn't have turned in. The improved pan angle make weird citadels happen, by the way, especially on cruisers. Like, you're literally eating tier 7 and 8 cruisers alive. Like, there's no way tier 7 and 8 cruisers can ever angle up and use all their guns. Also, you have the American AP, which fuses a bit faster. Or is this very... Okay, that guy was double dead. Which fuses a bit faster, or has like very lazy fuse. I don't know how to really explain it, but you're not as prone to citadels, overpens, as other nations. Like a Kronstadt would overpen most tier 7 cruisers, or tier 8 even, whereas in Alaska just straight up citadels them to shit. So the Groningen sits in that smoke with the Alaska. No, wait. Alaska was just unspotted. I'm just gonna load HE here. Guy's angling to me for whatever reason. I'm just gonna load HE and... I mean, here you can see like the improved pan angles and the AP. It fuses most of the times anyway. Would be kinda good if someone spots him. I don't think we have spotting on it. I'm just gonna go into the middle. Full HP Pommern on that side on the base, so since they're not getting zeroed in this cap layout, we're probably going to have a little farm fiesta later on him. I can't use my radar for the Alaska because of the Groningen. Obviously the idea here is that I kill the Alaska and I'm so close to the Groningen that he can't get away anymore. Because he doesn't have torpedoes, there is no threat for me, I can just rush him. It's like the thing, if you manage to get close to these only gunboat DDs, like Ragnar or Groningen, is obviously like free farm fiesta. Don't have to worry about torpedoes at all. I forgot we have a Lexington in base, and I play Hydro. That guy's going to give me some fucking candy. Okay, we're actually like about to lose this. Is he going to overturn? I think he is. Nope, he isn't. But I still keep AP loaded. You can see 8k. The improved pan angle just works magically in most situations. Like if you know where to aim, the AP deck essentially always fuses and pans. It's really weird. Probably can kill him here if I have good dispersion. Nope, fuck. I mean, he can't ram me. Because I get a reload off. Or my teammate just fucked it. I mean, it's fine though, I can already go forward. He didn't get a heal out, so there you go. Now we load HE to get the Groningen out immediately. And we're going to turn to the left because the Pommern sits in base on our left. Probably looking at us. I mean, I play PT, so he's not looking at us now. He doesn't give a shit at the moment. Okay, maybe Hydro. Oh no, the Groningen is dead. Never fucking mind. Anyway, good thing though we angled towards there because the carrier Cucklord is coming in with his planes too. There's no way this turret is aiming for me. Actually, both Pommerns are aiming for me. Wicked. I'm gonna dive the island here. Have to maybe eat a flat broadside volley from that guy. Damage numbers are quite low for us this game. I mean, maybe it can change. But I'm under leading like crazy in Alaska. Okay, the guy dies anyways. The sub should be spotting for me here. Yeah, there you go. That's the problem with the Azuma types of this world. He's just gonna farm me from 10 million light years away across the galaxy with a shitty fucking HE. I hope my Delaware moves up. Not really sure if he does. I have to give ground, I have to just fuck off. Not a good position. This guy's secondary DPM is too much for me. If he gets the secondaries on me while the carrier is striking me and the Azuma is shooting me, and there we go, we're already 9k'd by a fucking carrier turd. Okay, bro, it's fine. I want to go dark, but I can't go dark. Okay, this is gonna land short because I aimed like a turd. Ah, the Azuma is a fucking disaster for me. This guy. I kinda knew it when he was kited in base. It's going to be fucking demented. Yeah. I love it when people play these ships and just AFK around in base. That's really awesome. I mean, if you would get a bit... If you would give a bit more broadside, I could probably citadel him very easily. Thing is though, he's full HP, so... I need a whole lot of citadels for that. I think I'm fine here. I'm actually gonna keep that sliver of HP from the Azuma fire. DCP it, because I think this is not gonna set me on fire again. Wait, yeah, okay, watch me double fired. Ah, okay, it's fine. Just chancing it a bit here. Because I only have one more heal left. Yeah, well, I can lob this island, which is pretty cool. I'm under leading kinda still though. And I'm not getting citadels. Oh my god, fuck this, dude. Hi, yeah, dude. This is garbage as shit, dude. Holy fuck. Gotta move forward and get my salvos out now on the Azuma. Because he's flat to me now. There you go. Triple sit. Finally remove cancer. Should kill here, I think. Yeah, okay. Perfect. With this guy removed, we actually have like a chance. Omen is very far away, so I'm gonna move out and kill the carrier now. 23k HP left. By the way, don't be fooled. It is a tanky heavy cruiser, but not as tanky as you might suspect. It's kind of the same as a Stalin. Like, you can't shove randomly into everything. That doesn't work. The ship has its limitations in terms of tanking, and those limitations come very, very fast. Don't tell me the fucking Pommern is aiming for me. Nah, dude. Nah, dude. Okay, this guy isn't dead. Can you, like, please spot him? Okay. Hey, what the fuck, dude? Seriously? Oh, this guy's shooting HE on me. Sure, bro. Or I must spot it. I mean, if you would spot the carrier couldn't have fucking sent another squad on me that I have to deal with now. Thoughts? Would have been really cool. Yeah, well, I guess we don't kill the carrier because our submarine is a demented cuck. What we can do though is pop hydro so we don't eat torpedo. Nice, now he gets spotted. Get the fuck out of here, bro. His Santander has a very hard time killing me if I just angle perfectly nose in. Hydro is on, so he probably won't hit a torp. I mean, I can DCP that. The Santander can't set a fire. Yeah, here you go. Now we slow down and we wait until he angles up and then we blow him up. Should be enough angle and... Nope, I didn't kill him. Fuck. Fuck. I'm gonna get another shot. Okay, I can accelerate. I mean, I'll take the Thunder with me. I died to the Östertorp, huh? Yeah. Well, I mean, was worth a try. At least they killed the carrier and the Pommern is in fucking base. Our carrier is still alive. Our submarine probably lived this. I mean, I don't know if our Jutland is killing himself to the Pommern. Normally the Jutland should just kill him here because the sub is spotting. Ah, the sub is going... Okay, the sub is actually spotting. We can get B. Should be a win. Should be a win. 31 plane kills, man. I should have just taken Def A, bro. Whatever. Whatever. Also, I think on the Black Friday one, the Alaska on Black Friday is nearly as expensive. Or is it even cheaper than a tier 8 premium ship? Like... Just normally, if you buy a premium tier 8 premium in the year, I think it's as expensive nearly as in Alaska. So it actually is kind of a good deal too. I mean, you're saving a lot of money, I guess, because you're getting a tier 9, a very good tier 9 that has been removed for less money. Yeah, obvious specs. Obviously you go reload. I think, what was it, like 19 base range? Yeah. So I mean, range is just cringe as fuck. Also, you kind of want the reload, otherwise you lack a bit of DPM, for sure. Radar mod. Good thing about Alaska is it gets the American radar. I don't think it's a Des Moines radar duration, because Des Moines should be 46 or something, I guess. But it for sure is a very long radar, so you yourself already get like 3 volleys in that. So yeah, radar mod is kind of mandatory. Otherwise, you have a bit of a problem with destroyers. The good thing is the tier 10, the 10 kilometer radar is pretty strong if you get tier 7-8 matchmaking, because the DDs don't have the torp range, so even 10 km radar is enough. And this is the spec. This one is pretty obvious. You should really take that. Also, please dodge the 5%. Even if it's a heavy cruiser, 5% is literally nothing. It is 0. I'd rather have survivability expert and shit on all the cruisers to take 1 or 2 more shells of the overmatch, then have fucking 5% AP damage. That doesn't matter. I mean, if a tier 7 cruiser turns flat broadside 5% or not, he's gonna fucking die. Or not die, depending on RNG. But the 5% aren't going to magically save you. Yeah, just basic cruiser spec. Everything. Obviously, the Alaska itself suffered a wee bit over the time. It's like with every supposedly broken premium from the old days. With the release of all the new crap and absolutely broken ships, the old premiums aren't like that strong anymore. Like back in the days, you used to get tier 7 matchmaking all day long, and therefore be able to smash down or like punch down on tier 7s or 8s the entire time, which those ships were essentially designed back then. Like obviously there was a purchase reason. Wargaming did it on purpose, that these cruisers are extremely nuts. Or not cruisers, these tier 9 premiums are extremely nuts. Like you have Musashi, Georgia, Jean Bart, Alaska, even like Benham, Black, all of that garbage. I mean, they all got released like 4 or 5 years ago. That's when it started. And back then it was completely and utterly fucking nuts to play them. Like the amount of damage you could get on those was sometimes, some of those ships actually higher than the tier 10s. Just because you got matchmaking in which you could like freely run it and murder an entire flank by yourself because the ships were so broken. And tier 7s had like no chance. But these days, as you can see here, good example actually. At least no carrier, no subs, but it's super ship matchmaking. So I'm running against the DD that has, what is it, 28k HP nearly if he runs survivability expert. I will never kill that in my radar, ever. I need probably 3 raiders if he's not completely turbo inting, but if he's that close, he might actually hit torps and I don't have the HP. And we have an Annapolis. I mean, the Edgar is kind of okay-ish. Because I at least overmatch him, and the improved penetration angles still fuck him. That's also a reason why Alaska isn't that bad, because if people make mistakes or you position well, your guns at least allow you to punish higher tier ships fairly consistently. So the Edgar isn't really that big of an issue. The Annapolis is an absolute disaster for me, as you can imagine. The let's see, maybe he slows down. Wait, he turns back in? Oh, you've got to be shitting me here. Why is he turning back in? Is he dumb? Why is he turning? Now he has to turn back out in an even worse spot. Huh? Sometimes I don't get these people, bro, I swear to God. I mean, okay, sure. I have the reload on the ship, so I guess it's good for me too. Nice, I get overpens. Okay, whatever, man, whatever. People are inting on purpose and I can't punish them because funny RNG. Well. At least I can dodge the Annapolis going into the corner here. Also, it seems that the enemy is running away rather than running in. Can I turn back in again? I mean, Patrice sits in the middle, Slava sits in the middle. That's good. I have a Schlieffen here. At least I penetrate him with my HE, I guess. Oh yeah, the Schlieffen secondary is already over the rock. I'm gonna stay wide away from the islands. I don't want to get rushed by him. Because the only way I fuck him fast is if he's super close flat broadside, but then he can also torp me and shred me with secondaries. Yeah, and the Patchery is also a big time issue, obviously. But as said, with the AP improved penetration angles and pretty large caliber gun on the heavy cruiser, you can not only punish the cruisers if they fuck up, like higher tier cruisers, but you also have a good way of dealing with battleships and HE. Like I could just spam the Patchery, and at least I'm not getting overmatched everywhere. I mean, I'm still gonna eat shit ton of cock if he chooses to spurg out on me. Honestly, if he's just going for a straight up kill as fast as he possibly can and he loads HE, I'm utterly ruined. He probably set me on double perma instantaneously. Yeah. But let's see how it goes. Humphrey already killed himself, so I guess we got lucky and received a bunch of idiots in the enemy team in their super ships, so that's pretty good. Try and shoot him here, I guess. The angle, like if I can aim properly and get under the turrets, I can citadel him here. Well, I mean, it's hard because I can't really see him. Problem would be that the Schlieffen is just chilling there. And it's like a very interesting... Oh, fuck, dude. Okay, I have to turn out behind the rock now. I'm gonna start HE spamming here immediately. Probably no fire prevention. Only chance I can kill him fast. Hopefully he doesn't sit me. Schlieffen actually, or Schlieffen or Ruprecht have a tendency to sit Alaska fairly easily. Same with Monty, because they have such flat shell arcs. 8k, okay, I got lucky there. Yeah, I gotta fuck off behind the rock. This is not the type of fight I want to take with this guy. Nah, Nah, we ain't like interested in sitting in his fucking secondary range. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna like get double fired on purpose by you. Ain't no way. Oh, his secondary is lobbed again. Probably insta-fire, huh? Not yet, not yet. Right? I love the AI gunners, dude. He didn't have to put any sort of human input into his computer and the shit fuck sets me on fire and lobs me over the island on purpose. Okay. I would have to play Alaska a bit more to get more used to the guns, kind of. Yeah, I underlet again. Seems to be a theme here with me. Yeah. It's like a ship I'd had to play a bit more. Get used to the guns. The lazy shell arcs of the Americans are something you'd had to play more often in a row. Because something like a Stalin or a Kronstadt is always easy to aim. Just have the arcs and the shell travel time. Very comfy. This shit here, it's a bit floaty. It gives you certain benefits though, because like if this Rhone would turn flat broadside, where other ships would mainly overpen, because it's the German cruiser, weird armor. Alaska and Puerto also just get a really easy time of citadeling it. We got him out. One of the spammers is gone. Schlieffen is in kite. Wherever. Oh, Moskva. Hey, I thought the guy would live for like 2 more seconds, so I could actually finish my turn before getting absolutely ass blasted. I mean, this Patrie is AFK as shit. Yo, look at this. This was the weird Sid. Okay, he needs to blow up here. Like, that needs to be punished. That is illegal, man. That is illegal. You can't just fucking do that. Yeah, there you go. Eat shit. Fucking gamer turning the entire game and not getting punished. Love it. I mean, if you're really close to people, like, I mean, probably people play Des Moines a lot, right? Des Moines, Salem, we've all done it. Des Moines and Salem get citadels fairly nicely close range to the fucking Patrie's already spamming HE as I suspected. They get citadels at really, really nice angles or weird angles when you're close, right? Alaska is even worse. Like Alaska, you can't angle up as a cruiser at all close. It's the same for Puerto. You gotta be really careful there. Same for like Stalin. Everything that has like these big cruiser guns, they gave it such improved pen angles that it's really, really difficult to angle up and not blow up on purpose. Anything that has, for example, like an actual citadel. I mean, I guess there's ships out there that have space citadels and crap that can get lucky. But like a Des Moines, Moskva, the old cruisers, nah, you can't angle up there. It's impossible. I have to let him come close, is what I said earlier. The only way I blow him up fast and actually win a trade here is if he comes super close. And I'm able to blow him up with citadels. I think also the position that I have is pretty good. Because if he comes around on the right, I can just go forward and dodge the torpedoes. It'll be fine. So, probably going to do that. I think, look, I can already citadel, not citadel, but penetrate the nose, see? 8k. The penetration angles are really, really weird. Okay, I'm going flat at this range, because Alaska most likely doesn't get citadel here. And then I should probably blow him up here. Yeah. See? I mean, only 2 sits, because it's under the water, but now I can run at this guy and ram him out, hopefully. As long as he's shooting HE, I should make it. I mean, maybe I should angle fully in, run at him. Okay, that is 5 overpens on a flat broadside Patrie. Do I actually want to take a ram here? I don't know. Look at, I underleaded that range because I don't. That's a bit sketch, dude, not gonna lie. Okay, there's no way there's HE is needed here. Wait, he's not shooting me. Can you go for the nose again? Wait, he's not shooting me. Actually, like... No, I have to take the ram, I think. Can't citadel that. Not even getting damage. Okay, Patrie moment. I tried to ram, but Super Ship BB at that range, first of all, doesn't need citadels. Second of all, just, yeah, funny, blows me up for what, 26k at that range through the nose. Because cruisers, you know, cruisers always... It doesn't matter what BB you play, what cruiser you play, essentially a fucking cruiser... Like, a BB can always blow up a cruiser at any angle, kind of. RNG just needs to be right. I mean, this is not even RNG based. The motherfucker just sent 12 shells right into my fucking dumb nose. And what was it, 26k to me? I mean, come on, dude. It's fucking... It's literally demented, man. Yeah, that's exactly the fight that you don't want to have, and that's also exactly what I meant in the beginning of the match with tier 9 premium ships that were originally turbo busted being essentially power crept by the game developers because they want to sell tier 10 premiums and probably super ships now. So the ships that once were sold with the intent of punching down, like idiots could easily punch down with those ships on lower tiers, are now the ships that get punched down upon by even more broken shit from above. See, there's always a bigger fish in the fucking water. Yeah. I mean, we got 3 kills both games. You could see with the Schlieffen, if the battleship is right, like every battleship that has an outside citadel, you can easily sit close range with Alaska, like a Yamato I would have fucked there. If that Patrie would have been a Yamato or Satsuma, I could have fucked it. Sadly, like the Frenchies, that's what I meant with the American fuse. Your fuse time don't really allow you to citadel French battleships. It's a thing, it's a common theme with American BBs or heavy cruisers. It's very hard to citadel French boats, whereas something high pen like a Russian, like a Stalingrad there may have gotten sits. Probably not on a Patrie, but it can get on a Repub or a Jean Bart. Or something like a Kreml or an Uchakov could have punched right through the turret armor, or like the layered armor there, and black hole French armor, and punched through to the sit and actually got like a few sits at least. Obviously, it's not clean. We won that game. That was, I hoped for it at least. So yeah, this is Alaska. I don't know the price tag. I think it was like 14,000 dupes. It's like the only cruiser you should get. Azuma. Yoshino is just a better alternative because they're both cold now. Yoshino is just better because it's tier 10 and it also has at least slight armor. It has also the torps for like rushing. Azuma doesn't have torp. It doesn't have armor at all. That's, by the way, the thing, like fucking dog shit. It gets overmatched by 4 06s everywhere, and 380s even overmatched nose and ass, which is a disaster. Alaska armor actually pretty nice. You have the 36 deck, which at least allows you to bounce, and the side plating is like, you're very low in the water, so you can actually bounce here. It's not that easy to hit. Problem though, again, the nose and the ass are overmatchable. That's where the Patrie just smashed me through. Though Alaska doesn't really get nose sit for some reason, but that's probably because there's some internal plating there too. If you tend to get overpens on Alaska and Puero, that's because there is a hidden armor plate somewhere between this and this, I think. Or in between those 2 layers. I don't know. There's like a hidden armor plate that doesn't show and makes the overpens happen. Quickly for the other cruisers, Tulsa is an absolute shit fiesta. That thing is absolute dog shit. It's mostly also armor. Like, that's the common theme with tier 9 cruisers. Like, you don't get enough DPM to really make no armor cruises work. That's the problem. Like, Tulsa had to have like 30% more DPM or some shit at least to actually make it worthwhile. It also doesn't get the 10 km radar. Vallejo is, in my opinion, also absolute trash. I mean, it's probably one of the best farm kite cruisers on this tier, but I don't like the armor scheme as well. It for some reason gets deck armor, which doesn't matter on this thing because it has 25 sides and it has a stepped ass. And since you're in kite all the time, you eat citadels here the entire fucking day. It is so cancer. I don't like it. Also, it's super AFK. Like, you're not bringing any utility. You can't slot hydro. Even that, and you don't have a radar. If it had a radar, probably really good ship. This is honestly the by far best cruiser on tier 9, which is funny because it's in the battleship class, but it's definitely the best cruiser. We'll cover that shit. Kronstadt isn't good anymore. It's decent, but since it's like rare, it's not in Black Fridays, you'd had to whale it through Christmas crates, so whatever. It's like not even obtainable. The thing has no armor. Even though they got buffed it from 25 to 27 or so, it still doesn't have armor. And with Kronstadt, the biggest issue is you get, if a battleship knows what it's doing, or it just randomly shoots on your nose, you don't have an icebreaker, you can get 40, 50k through the nose. Easy. And it happens a lot. Like, you get Citadel through the nose on that Russian cruiser, which is turbo weird. Then, yeah, Schroeder is a disaster in randoms. Weirdly enough, it was played in 6v6 comp. But it doesn't deal damage. It lives for very long. It's very survivable with the concealment and the speed boost and the armor. It would be pretty interesting if it had like 40 deck, like Napoli. That it would be like turbo unkillable, I guess. But again, like, you don't kill anything yourself. It has like, it's probably like the worst damage output ever. Aegir is okay-ish, but that's the thing why I mentioned Alaska. Alaska is just a better version of an Azuma and Aegir. Yeah. Exactly those two. Like, all 3 of those cruisers are supposed heavy cruisers with 9 guns and a bit of armor, but Alaska just gets the best guns out of all of those overall, Obviously, Azuma has the best HE farm capability, but Alaska gets like the AP and the HE, and it gets the utility, which both of the others don't. Also, the armor on Aegir, it has side plating, no deck armor, which is worse than... and it sits high in the water, so the nose is gigantic. You can also get fucked here. So Alaska is like, Halwa is also the best. Siegfried is a tragedy. Sevastopol is already completely useless. So Siegfried isn't... It's better than Sevastopol because of the tier, but otherwise it's useless. Carnot, also okay-ish, but you can put it in the exact same category as Aegir, Alaska, Azuma. It's heavy gun... It's like, it has some armor. It's kind of the same as Alaska. It gets 25 nose for some reason, not 27 like Alaska. Though it's weird. But this thing has insanely long reload because the guns have more penetration at long range, which makes it easier to citadel heavier ships but overpens smaller ships. The reload is 4 or 5 seconds longer than Alaska, which is a disaster. It has literally 0 damage output. And it doesn't bring any utility either. I mean, it's always like Alaska has the radar, just straight up better. Then we have Dalian, a disaster. It's an okay farm cruiser. It's like a Wish.com Smolensk on tier 9. It's okay, but I would never pay money for that crap. And that's it for the cruisers. For some reason, they mostly just released these heavy cruisers on tier 9. There's not really much normal stuff like on all the other tiers with farm and things. Maybe it comes in the future, but I would say no, because the tier itself is just not a good place for no armor HE farm cruisers. It's always like, the problem is the DPMs on that tier on all the cruisers are too low. The tech tree ships most likely are better than like a Vallejo, a Tulsa, a Dalian. Stuff like Donsko and Buffalo are better than those premium ships. And even those struggle because they have like 0 armor. But at least they bring utility. So that's kind of the redeeming aspect. So yeah, Alaska is like the only cruiser. And I guess in the next video we can cover the actual top dog cruiser of the fucking tier. The ultimate insult to cruiser balancing. That thing here. And yeah, until then, have a nice day and see you for the next video.